Myceco's ambition is to structure the national roadmap of biomimicry in France in close collaboration with CBIOS, which is a national organism which catalyzes and federates all scientific, academic, and industrial skills in biomimicry, in fact. First of all, what is biomimicry? We saw some instances previously, but it's a concept that consists in drawing inspiration from living things to design innovative technologies or organizations, and resulting from 3.8 billion years of R&D. And the semantic acceptance is very wide. We are dealing with a sort of semantic octopus, in fact. At the same way, it is a philosophical approach, such as circular economy, but also it is a multidisciplinary methods and means, such as nature-based solutions or bio. And it's technical fields insisting on sustainable development. About requirement specification of the living, I think everybody's here had heard about the Janine Benu's 10 living specifications that can guide us and help us to build processes, system, products that are more sustainable. And all those principles are based on sobriety, efficiency, and multifunctionality. And we know nature uses a universal solvent, which is water, rather than organic solvents. Major common themes can be defined through which we can explore biomimicry. Water management belongs to those main themes, as for energy, materials, chemistry, and ICT. Then, water management is a very interesting subject on the biomimicry perspective, because water sector encompasses, irrigates, processes, different other sectors such as agriculture sector, textile, and fashion industries, which are very water consuming industries. And we heard before with David Collomb that is necessary to integrate water into the resilience plan for governments. And on its side, biomimicry is an innovation method. We can find applications in all industries, building, chemistry, cosmetics, aeronautics, cars. So when you want to innovate with biomimicry, we can find answers throughout has launched a new challenge, EGM without water. Thanks to biomimicry, they aim to reduce the use of water in response to a future scarcity of water throughout the globe. And they have been working for 2 years with CBIOS to find the right and accurate biologic model to create a design and prototype object, which is a washcloth inspired by the air structure of catons. And we can assume that the defense forces, especially the army and the special forces, could be very interested in this innovation. And the key, let's focus now on the key issues, on the main issues that have been discussed before with the previous panelists. And we identified a few of them on which we can find responses on the living lab solution. Human beings will face more and more water rarefaction, we saw before, so knowing that there are more than 800 million human beings who do not have access to drinking water. So we just need to examine the tremendous ingenuity of living things of living things to learn effective ways to treat, collect, store, transport, deliver, and manage overabundance. Let it be on the topic of efficiency in water storage and management in order to increase water captation thanks to insect models, to male sun grouse feather model, for instance, or to lotus effect, the property of some plants to have a super hydrophobic surface coating. Let it be the detection of dysfunction with innovation on biosphere sensors. We heard about LWEF previously, and reparation in water infrastructure and pipelines, for instance, thanks to innovation coming from the red algae used for anti-fouling treatments. And we have the sea slugs, auto-reparation abilities that could be very useful, for instance, to repair damaged tanks. Let it be the coast conservation with bacteria that heal concrete to consolidate dyes. And as for the living intelligence that can help in data computing technologies, data processing in order to optimize the water data management. And we saw different, sorry, there is, yes, it's okay. We saw different instances and case studies previously. So I will just cite the Moloch project in France, inspired by Moloch Oridus or Hound Divol, which is a technology bioinspired structure for generating water reserves in urban areas. And this Australian desert saurian benefits from a system of scales that captures the dew of water from puddles, like a network of multiple straws to carry water to its mouth. And sorry, it's okay. And I go through those different in some instances, but we can lay emphasis next on technologies and startups, on water management issue. Biosphere from CNRS and Claude Grison, for instance, which has launched a startup belonging to the green chemistry sector, and they have selected plant species capable of phytoaccumulation, especially of metallic elements in a natural way, in fact. So now we can, let's focus on, I think it's okay, yes. Let's focus on the megatrends in biomimicry in terms of economic sustainability. The Fermanian Business Institute from the University of San Diego, with its Da Vinci Index, had measured the contribution of biomimicry to gross GDP and job increase. And at a mondial scale, bioinspiration could generate more than $1.6 trillion in GDP prospective by 2030. And we assist an exponential increase in the number of works, both in terms of conferences, scientific publication, patent filings. So in France, our ambition is to promote the development of biomimicry in order to over-potentiate the approach. We have the conviction that biomimicry is a strategic subject determining both for the ecological crisis and for the economic vitality of the country. And why? Because we benefit from an invaluable natural capital, such as in USA. France gathers more than 10% of the mondial biodiversity thanks to the ultramarine territories. We've got the second largest maritime space just behind the USA with more than 11 million square kilometers. And on the research side, we saw previously the number of research teams is estimated at around more in France 200. And we in the USA, you can have also different institutes. Museum, sharing the podium with the Smithsonian Institute and with the British Museum. And in terms of national roadmap, despite this richness in natural capital and knowledge, we observe a sort of lack of ambitious blueprints, in fact. Even though there is a turning point observed in 2019 with the CNRS, which fully integrated biomimicry in its objective and performance contracts. And based on this observation, in order to support the development of the national roadmap with CBIOS, we organized multi-stakeholders event in November 2019 at France Stratégie, which is a department belonging to the Prime Minister Office, with conferences on design thinking workshop. Then we wrote a first blueprint with several recommendations for government roadmap, and we presented with CBIOS, Kalina, this blueprint to presidential cabinet last year. Several initiatives have been carried out since. We can mention two of them. First, with the Parliament, for instance, we mobilized Deputy Huguette Thiengna, and she has been mandated to vote for next November a parliamentary scientific mission note. And two, there is a priority exploratory research program and equipment which has been launched this summer with specific funds earmarked for biomimicry. So if you want to learn more, you will find other publications dedicated to main biomimicry topics, such as materials, aeronautics, energy on CBIOS website or Myceco's website. And in conclusion, why is biomimicry so strategic now? Because it is a lever for sustainable environmental sustainability. And as President Macron said yesterday in his conclusion aux Assises de la Mer, it was seabed, very huge conference, and for him, biomimicry is an innovation lever for all sea sector and industries.